this. This will be the base for your robot. So take a medium motor and then put in two connector pegs over here. Place your motor like this. This is what your structure should look like. Now we will add a few more details. Next, put a 3-module axle on the short end of a 3x4x7 J-beam. Place it onto the rear end of the motor. Now, when someone puts their arm in, it will be connected like this. However, if you feel that it's too short, the more efficient way would be to put it on the long end and then place it on the back rotor. Like this. So when someone puts their arm here, it'll go like this. Do this on the other side as well. Now, when someone puts their hand, it should lock in like this, and then they can pick up the structure with their arm. Flip your structure onto its side like this and let the underside of it face you. Now, take a biscuit connector and put two connector pegs in it. Now, place them on the edges, not here, but somewhere here. Do this with the other edges as well. Like this. So when someone puts their arm here, it'll go like this. Do this on the other side as well. Now, when someone puts their hand, it should lock in like this, and then they can pick up the structure with their arm. Flip your structure onto its side like this and let the underside of it face you. Now, take a biscuit connector and put two connector pegs in it. Like this. So when someone puts their arm here, it'll go like this. Do this on the other side as well. Now, when someone puts their hand, it should lock in like this, and then they can pick up the structure with their arm. Flip your structure onto its side like this and let the underside of it face you. And put two connector pegs in it. Now, place them on the edges, not here, but somewhere here. Flip your structure onto its side like this and let the underside of it face you. Now, take a biscuit connector and put two connector pegs in it. Now place them on the edges, not here but somewhere here. Do this with the other edges as well. Now your structure will be raised with these stilts. The next step is to block off this part. We'll do that by taking a brick and placing it here. Make sure that the axle goes over here. So your bricks will be like this, low. Now you can put another axle in like this. So this is how it looks. Now we also want to extend this. So we're going to take a push pin and place 3 module axle like this. If you like, you can place an axle over here as well, like so. Now make sure that both your axles are at the same position and both your rotors are also at the same. So when you put this here, it will now be easy to place this in the center. Now you will need to take out your color sensor. Along with your color sensor, also take out 2 3 module axles. We'll be putting the color sensor over here. So we need to take this eyepiece and place it like this. So that means you keep this aside and take an eyepiece. You put 2 connector pegs over here. Now you put a 3-module connector peg on one side. And place it like this. Now this is what it will look like. That's part 1. Now in part A, for all of this to work, we need the smart hub. So we're going to get the smart hub ready to be placed. First, you need to flip your smart hub upside down. Then, on one of the long side, put 3-module connector pegs. On the other side, put 3-module split axles. Now, we need to put an axle extender. Both of the sides need to have axle extenders on the split axle. Then we need to put 3-module axles and under that you put these. But before that, first you'll need to put a washer and then place this as the leg. Now you can place the smart hub like this. If you feel that it's too tall, what you can do is, instead of putting a 3-module tall split axle, put a 2-module split axle. This will be frictionless though. More frictionless than the 3-module split axle. So, once you're ready with this, you place the hub over here, no more forward than the motors. Then, once you've placed it, this will be your structure. If the weight is too much, then you can change the position of the hub. So now the color sensor is on the side of the motors, while the smart hub is over here. This way, if I close it, I can pick up the entire thing. If this thing, the lock arm comes up because of the weight, it's okay. We'll be using the more motors extension to make the motors lock it in. For part B, we will have to modify part A a bit. The reason we put 4 legs and 2 on the hub for part A is to make it easier, but these 2 over here were just placeholders. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to take out 2 of the legs from one of the short side. Now we will have to put another leg over here. What we will do is we will place this right here and then add a pink frame over here. Still, the legs on this side are longer than the legs on this side. So now comes the actual part B. You will need to take a few angular beams, these yellow angular beams. So the pink frame, this will be connected to part A. So we will put a 4 module axle through this and place it here. Under that, there will be another 4 module axle. So now it looks like a claw. Now a common thing in this part of part B is that there are only 2 of these in the kit. Now in the backup, if you check, you'll find 2 more. But if you really want to go like that, with only these 2, you can put it like this and like this. So we'll fill in the bottom part with something else. So take this angular beam and put it like this. So if you do it on both sides, you'll see that the angles are at the same place, only the length is different. So this is a 4x4, the black one, and the yellow one is a 3x7. So they'll almost look the same. Now we're gonna have to push this axle here, and obviously one part sticks out. We're gonna cover that up with the washer. Now this will connect part A to part B. So we'll keep this aside for now as well. You also need another pink frame like this one. On that pink frame, we're gonna be needing 2 beams this long, which is 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 and 17 modules. You put a connector peg over here and you do the same for a 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 module beam. So now we're doing this to create a sort of turret. This turret will be the controller with a force sensor. So this part will be behind and this part will be somewhere here. Now once you have connected this like this, do this on the other side of the force sensor as well. So this should be the turret right now. You move these blue things at the back like this, so the blue beams will regulate the black beams from spinning a bit too much. Now we will also need to put a connector peg over here and one over here. Now connect the bottom to the pink frame. If you want, you can even remove the blue beams. So this will be a structure. This will still move, but you can just put something to stop that. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take the pink biscuit parts that we used for the legs earlier. we are going to spread the legs a little bit more. So when viewed from back, it'll look like this. Then you put a connector peg and then you try and place it here while making it go in. If that doesn't work, you can just leave it. I am going to put this over here at the top. And yeah, over here in the front, we're gonna have to put a thing that'll make this more of a button. We're gonna put this, and then we're going to place this on the axle, and on top of that we're gonna place this. So now we can press this, and that's how it will work. At the base of it, put two split axles like this. Now get this structure out. This is, like I said, the part that will connect the part A to part B. So we're gonna put this over here and this over here. This is our new structure. Now get your part A and put your connector in the center like this. If you want, you can add something underneath this. Now let's look at the entire thing. The person locks in their hand and holds this. They press this button. Remember, this is not an entire prosthetic arm. It's just a prototype of a prosthetic arm holder. Now, part C can be put in many different ways, but let's look at one great way that I thought works very well. So, with no further ado, let's start part C of the construction. In part C, you need a large motor. Keep the large motor flat with the main rotor pointing upwards. Now take a black frame and put 4 connector pegs into it. One over here, one in the second hole, and on both sides. So it will be last hole, second hole, both sides. So skip the first hole, put in the second hole, skip the third hole, put in the last hole. Now you should be able to put the frame onto your large motor like this. Looks like maybe a jetpack, or well, reminds me of a skydiver suit. Now you need to put this on the side. How do you make this? Well, it's pretty simple. You just take one of these pieces from the axle section, number 4, and then you put 2 split axles like this. Now you put that on both the sides like ears, but make sure that it's not here. It has to be on the black piece frame. Now you put this on top of both of your axle pieces and put a push pin through. Like this. Now one more common misconception is that this, instead of going in front, should go at the back. So it will be like this, and this will go over here. We need to keep this space free. The rotor needs to be used for another purpose. So now we're gonna add something which looks very useless. Take this blue 3x5 L-beam and on the edges and at the intersection place black connector pegs. Now before we place that anywhere, we need to start working on the movement. You're gonna need to put one black connector peg here and one black connector peg here. Coming out from that will be a 5-module beam. One on this side and one on this side. So 2 5-module beams. So these 2 5-module beams will serve the most important purpose. But first, we're gonna need to put another 5-module beam over here. So that means we're gonna need to put a connector peg over here and another connector peg over here. See? Now it should be easy to put this in over here. This makes the entire thing level and gives us a limit to the movement of our arm. So our prosthetic arm will just grab stuff. So this is more of a grabber or a pincer rather. So this will help us to get the limit of the claw so it doesn't open too much and break itself. Now you will need to place the L-beam over here, leaving one hole. Now if we put an axle over here just to spin it, you can see that it won't spin more than this. Now you'll see that the beams are moving because there's only one connector peg, but keep it at reset position and like this for now. I'm going to remove the axle. So now we're going to block off this part. We're going to use a part that I haven't used in any of my previous episodes. So it's this part. It's 2-module beam, which seems pretty useless. No one needs a 2-module beam. But one module is actually for a connector peg and one module is like for an axle. So it's like the beam version of a split axle. So the beam counterpart of the split axle, we can call it the split beam or the 2-module split beam. However, there's no 3-module split beam or any other split beam. This is the only split beam in the entire kit. Now, we'll be using the split beam very carefully. We'll be putting a split axle over here. The axle part should be sticking out. Then you're going to need a 3-module split axle. Another 3-module split axle to be precise. Now we are going to be putting it like this. So let's see if I can push this anymore. It will be like this. The split axle's axle part will be here and the 3-module split axle's connector peg part will be here. Now pay careful attention to this. You are going to be putting this. So I made a mistake. So now if you see, the split axle should go inside. So look carefully. The split axle should go inside the center like this. And the axle part of the 3-module split axle should be sticking out. And we'll cap that with a washer. Oopsie. This may look complicated because we're putting a lot of parts, but everything's actually symmetrical apart from this L-beam. So now comes the interesting part. You will need another 3-module split axle and this time you will need a angular beam. This angular beam will be I've been doing a lot of experimenting So my desk is a bit messy with combinations of how to make this thing work properly. So I'll just need a second to clean this up. Now that I've cleared my desk a bit, even my mind is less cluttered. So we'll be needing a 3-module split axle to put over here. Now first you're gonna need these J-beams. You're gonna need the longer side like this. So basically what we're gonna do is this is gonna be here. In the third hole of your J-beam, or the fourth hole rather, you are going to put a 3-module split axle. Then you're going to need to put a washer over here. And then you put this here. It'll fall, of course, but I guess it might hold for a few seconds like this. Now you are going to need one of these biscuit pieces. In diagonal dots or holes rather, you are going to put split axles in your biscuit connector. Now under one of them you are going to be needing to put a gear. Have you seen the smallest gear in your kit? Do you know how many teeth or how much teeth it has rather? The gear will go over here. Now you will place your biscuit piece like so. The side with the hole should be facing outwards. You are going to need wheels for this. So once you put 2 connector pegs over here, you're going to need to connect a wheel. So if you see over here, we can now remove this push pin and this, or actually we'll keep this. We are going to take an axle that is 4 modules big. So now I've put a 4 module axle over here instead of the push pin. And well, we're of course gonna cover it up with the legendary washer. And you also need to make sure that this axle goes in. So this axle over here, which goes through here, should connect into your J-beam, and this axle over here should connect into this 5-module beam. Now over here you can always add more reinforcements so this tire doesn't keep spinning around like so. You can add something over here like a 2-module connector peg. I am gonna add the push pin that I just removed over here. Now we're gonna have to do the same thing on the other side. I've removed the push pin from here. I've put in the 4-module axle and the J-beam over here. Now I've topped it up with a washer and I've put this in the right. I have put the, as you can see, I have put the 3-module split axle already. Oh great, I've used my last washer over here. And I have put the 3-module split axle in the beam of 5 modules. I have put a split axle in the biscuit piece. I have connected it to the arm. Actually, I would like to call it the pincer. So I've spun this and put the 2 connector pegs now. The main tire. And lastly, but an essential part in making sure that this thing doesn't spin like mad and not hold anything, I have put the push pin. So this is part A and part B compiled together. We're gonna need to put a push pin over here and one over here. This will allow us to connect part B to part C. So here are a few tips about the ports. Since the large motor is going in E, it should go from this side away from the medium motors. So we're going to put a wire clipper for that. So I'll flip it so you can see more easily. The wire clipper will be over here and it will make sure that the wire of the large motor does not move and goes only from the side. Now let's look at the force sensor. The force sensor is going from outside. And you do not need to wire clip the F force sensor because it goes from the outside. Now the Color sensor is an issue, at least kind of. It's blocking the arm lock. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna make it go over the arm lock, or if that's uncomfortable, you can make it go under the arm lock. So under this bottom axle, the color sensor's wire will go. It will not interfere. We could wire clip the color sensor, which is in port A, onto the arm lock. So when it's up, you can easily put your hand. When it's down, the wire will come down. When you want to remove your hand, the arm lock will go up and you can remove. The medium motor in port B is pretty good. We've not got any issues with it. The medium motor that's supposed to go in D cannot go from above the arm lock. That jams the arm lock. So we're gonna have to make that go from behind. So the force sensor will have to go in port D, and the medium motor nearest to part B will go in F.